Hi, I'm Jason Boone. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to customize your timeline in Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, Premiere Pro's timeline is where you spend the majority of your time when editing video. Customizing your timeline can help you more comfortably navigate your project and in turn streamline your workflow. Let's take a look at all the ways you can customize your timeline. If you take a look at my timeline in this project here, you can see that there is a lot going on. It's very busy. There's thumbnails, little badges, keyframes, different colors, all kinds of stuff going on. What I want to do to show you how you can customize this is I want to slowly strip away one by one things from the timeline so that we'll eventually have this really minimal look, and you'll see just how deep you can customize. So let's get started. Let me show you the two main areas where you can do the customization. We have a drop-down menu here in the panel menu. There's two little sections here where you can do some adjustments with thumbnails and a few other things. But really, the main area is the timeline display settings right here. You'll see there's 6 sections here. Now let's just start from the top and start to pull some of this stuff out. And the first little section here is three things: video thumbnails, video keyframes, and video names. So let's go look. Video thumbnails, it's showing us right now, it's showing us the in and out points. Actually, if we go here and look, it's actually showing us continuous video thumbnails, which we can change. We can make it video head and tail thumbnails, which once it loads here, you'll see. Let's zoom in a little. You'll see right here in this clip, it's only showing us the in and out frames, the final in and out frames, and the same with over here. So we can change that to video head thumbnails only, so it's only going to show us the end point. But let's go ahead and take that out. Next up are the video keyframes. You can see here we have some opacity keyframes and the lines here for our properties. Let's get rid of that, pull that out. And then next up will be the names. Show video names, so turn that off. You can start to see all of our video tracks here starting to get really barren and stripped down. Let's do the same with our audio. Now we can take out the audio keyframes and names. And you see the waveforms. You know, this is a pretty important area. But if you're not doing a lot of audio editing, if you're only doing some trimming, you know, it might be beneficial for you to take out all the waveforms, because that makes it pretty busy and can be pretty distracting. Now, next up, this is a couple of different things here that we should spend some time on. Now, clip markers. You can see here we have some clip markers here, some of varying durations. So we can go ahead and take those out. And duplicate frame markers are these colored lines here, which are basically telling you that somewhere else on this sequence or on this timeline, this exists again. It's duplicated. You can see the audio is duplicated here. It's color coded. So anytime you see a clip with these colored lines on the bottom, it means you have the same clip somewhere else or the same frame somewhere else. So we can turn that off. And now with through edit. Show through edits. A through edit is basically, if you look over here, this white little marker here, it's telling us that this is basically a cut in a clip, but no frames are really missing. So these two are basically one clip with a cut in the middle. So let's turn that off. Next up are the FX badges. So if you see these little FX badges here, if they're grayed out, that means there's nothing going on. If they're yellow, that means there's some kind of keyframe effect going on with one of the main properties. And you can see here, there's a level keyframe effect here. Now, if they're purple, it means there's an actual effect applied. And you can see here that there's a base applied. So watch the color purple here as I delete this effect. As I delete it, it turns gray. Okay, so let's get rid of FX badges. Now you can see it's starting to look like an alien spacecraft that we don't know how to use here. Because you can imagine if another editor jumped on and you had it like this, they would be completely lost. Now, composite preview during trim. If I'm just doing a trim here, watch the program monitor. It's going to show me on the left, it's going to show me where the current frame is, where I'm trimming. And then on the right, it's showing you the adjacent frame. So if I were to grab it from the beginning, it would show you the frame, the out frame, or the out point from the last clip. Now if we turn that off, it's just basically going to show us the preview full screen of wherever our trim is at. Now, one of the new features in the latest release is minimize all tracks, which I was really happy to see this because it shrinks the tracks down to this new small size, which I'm almost always editing on a 15-inch MacBook Pro. So space is limited on my screen. So to be able to shrink these down this small is great. You can also expand all tracks. And if you want to customize, if you want to have one track a certain height, you can save it as a preset. Say you're doing some audio, you can save that out as a preset, like audio track 1 and 2 a certain height, then you can save it and reload it instantly. And one of the last things we can do is we can really customize these headers where we can rename clips, which I've already done. I renamed this audio track Nat Sound. And what I want to do is I want to be able to see the names when I have them all minimized. I want to be able to see the names here. So we can quickly customize the header. And what we do is, well, first we'll reset the layout. And then the A1 right here is basically the track name. I'm going to drag that to the front and then drag these down to the second line out of the way. It's a little bit clunky, but... And then click OK. And there we go. Now we have all of our names neatly placed here. And as I said before, there are a couple of other features here in this section, such as we can change the start time code and set a default. So if you wanted this to start at like 1 minute, we could change that. Or if you don't want to see the time ruler numbers at all, we can get rid of that. Or if you want to see audio units, you can show audio units in the time code here. So there's a lot of customization to be had in these two sections. So what I suggest you do is you tinker around within these two and, really start to dive in and see what options you like to customize. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and be sure to check out Premium Beat for high quality, royalty-free music and sound effects for all of your media and video projects.